What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're all doing well today. Can you believe we're in September, guys? I am bringing you my top carries for the month of August. Got a couple of ties in certain spots, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into it. We're going to talk about the knives, what I like about them, and why I think they were probably in the top carries. This list looks pretty consistent with what I would think would be in the top carried knives. They're really close. I do a pretty good job rotating, so depending really on what knife starts the month out is kind of at this point out of my regular rotation, determining what makes it into the top 5. So number 5, there's a tie. First, I'm going to bring out the Benchmade Bugout. This one here is the Blade HQ exclusive CPM 20 CV blade steel, and it had the green standoffs and it had the G10. These are the Titanium Lotus scales. They are contoured, which really makes this very nice ergonomically. It also has this really beautiful chamfering up at the top that comes down so that you have really nice access to the crossbar lock, or the access lock as they call it. Action on this is really good. Not a bit of blade play on it, which is really nice, so it's tuned for the drop shut action and really just a solid lockup. I like this one because it's a nice lightweight summer carry, even with the titanium scales on there. It's really lightweight and carries very nicely, very thin in profile. It's not going to pull down on the shorts, and then it still leaves a little bit of room for some other gear in my pockets. So this was tied at number 5 for August. The other knife, which is no surprise to me, and after saying all that about summer carries, is going to be my Spyderco Shaman. I just love this knife. When I am wearing the khaki shorts that are a little bit thicker and I have my belt on, I carry this just fine. It's right at the top of the weight class for something that I would want to have for a summer carry, but I just love the Shaman. I have this one, and I also have the non-souped up version of the Blade HQ exclusive M4 variants. I really do like the M4. It's a great blade steel. Really has good edge retention and good toughness. It is not corrosive resistant, but I did want to get the coated version as well. But what I've decided for now is to leave this one as is with the micarta scales, and the pocket clip I may or may not swap out. I usually do, because I like for when I am carrying in the summer for the knife to go deep in pocket, so that way it's not sticking out in any way, shape, or form. So I probably will grab either a Lynch or a MXG and put that on there, but this is the one that I've been carrying the most, and this is my modified one. CME, compression made easy. This is made by OCD for EDC. This is the MXG deep carry pocket clip. I kind of like both of them, so I have like a variety of different clips, but those were tied for number 5. Excellent ergos and great blade steel. Even if you get the base model with the S30V variant, it's a really great knife. There was also a tie in the number 4 position, so I'll bring out the first knife. That is going to be the TW Price Dawn. This is sold out right now, but he is working on a second run. So if you're familiar with like Vero and how they come in batches, that's what you need to do, is just sign up for his newsletter. You'll get alerts whenever there's going to be news about a potential drop coming up. It is going to take a little while though, because this drop just happened. This is made by Best Tech. It is a very thin and slicey EDC. M390 on the blade steel. It has a nice side-to-side hand grind or belt grind. I'm not sure which one it is. It's just a side-to-side grind. I like the way that looks. It's a nice finish. Really good milling. It is nice and textured without being sharp. Very knocked down, and then it's chamfered all around the edges, so it feels really good in hand, and the pocket clip works really, really well. So this reminds me of a very premium bug out, or kind of sort of how I've built my bug out. Kind of funny. These two remind me of each other. And then the other knife that is tied for the number 4 spot is going to be my Grail, and that's by itself probably the reason why this one's carried the most. I'm really enjoying the Tonto. I was on the hunt for a drop point. I grabbed the Tonto because they're so hard to get, but I've really been enjoying this a lot. It's really great for the push cuts, and then when I want to get down and do some detailed work or draw cuts, that tip for the Tonto works really well. And then the bigger tip out in front is nice to get into some cardboard if you want to start somewhere maybe and push out, as opposed to going all the way through. Like on a longer piece, you might start in the middle and then work your way out and then come back up. So really versatile. I am very much enjoying it. It is getting smoother and smoother, just like my old Nkosi did. But the reason I say that it's kind of funny is because I have like two of the larger carries of knives that I really gravitate towards because I love the ergos and the performance. And then two knives that I really love the ergos on that are very friendly for like a summer lightweight carry. So kind of funny it worked out that way. I guess it really just goes to show my preferences on knives and what I like to carry, definitely in the summertime. This knife makes a whole lot of sense at number 2 because it did come in and I carried it for like, as a companion carry or a main carry, I carried it for like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks pretty much, before I pushed the review out, and that is going to be the WE Vision R. This is a SNCS design. Recent review is out there if you're interested in a full in-depth review. This is designed to be a food prep knife, which is why it's really high up above the blade, and you get a lot of surface blade to surface contact ratio here on this knife because of the way that it's designed, and also the leverage that it puts. If you're cutting, like say you're cutting down into the food like some sausage or something like that, and you're working like back to front, or if you're working tip down like you're chopping, this is going to be a great shape for that. But it's also very friendly for EDC. That reverse Tonto, as they call it, works really good because you get a nice utility cut, but it also is out far enough in front for puncture task, and it works really well for draw cuts and utility cuts. Again, when I first got it, I hadn't figured it out, but I have since figured out that if you rest your finger on here and you push into that little carved out section with the tip of the finger for the larger hands, and then you pull down, it actually is not that uncomfortable to actuate. Yeah, it does kind of push in the finger and you feel it, but at first I was trying to just pull down straight into it, and then I realized if you dig into the scales, for lack of a better way to describe that, it works pretty good. The reverse flick on here is nice. Action's really good. The 20 CV, really thin and slicey. It is a great geometry with a tall grind. I mean, this thing cuts and carves really well. I like the speed holes because it gives somewhere for the fingers to rest, since you don't have that pocket clip to kind of hold and control the knife in hand when you're actuating the super lock or when you're doing the reverse lock. I put my thumb down into that speed hole. The purpose of the speed holes is for cleaning. That is what they officially had said from SNCS as far as why you see these holes, so that you can clean any of the soot and grut and anything that might get in there food prep wise out of the back of the knife without having to fully disassemble it. And then same thing here, like let's say you used it and you put it away and you're using your food and you didn't clean it very well, the speed holes give you the option to do that, in addition to being a nice spot to grab onto to grip the knife. The pocket clip on the back doesn't bother me. With my large hands, I find that my hand's actually resting on this more than it is on the tip. Goes in and out of the pocket fine. I have no issues, even with the thicker shorts, with it going in and holding in place. It works just fine. So that was number 2, and it does make sense why that was number 2, because I was really carrying it a ton to try to formulate my opinion to do the review for it. And then coming in at number 1, no surprise either, because I picked this up recently. I actually waited a while to get this model because I wanted to see what other variants came out, and this one really caught my eye. That is going to be the USA made tactile knife Rockwall with the golf ball patterns, and this one is done in Magna Cut. Beautiful stonewash finish on the blade. I really like that a lot. It is pretty thin and slicey, great summer carry. I like the weight on this, even if with it being full titanium, because it is more compact in size, but it still offers a full 4-finger grip for me for ergos. Good position for jimping, really well done pocket clips, really easy to get the finger on, good access to the lock bar. Far as fall shut action, you do have a little bit of chamfering here, and you do need to come in from the side so that it falls onto the thumbnail. You don't want it to hit the finger because it will slice you. It's very sharp. A little bit of trouble getting it to stopped backing out at the pivot. I finally found the right mixture of enough medium Loctite and enough time sitting without being fidgeted with for it to lock up, but it's there now. There's absolutely no blade play, and it's still buttery smooth action, and it's going to continue to break in more. I just picked this up in September, and I'm really happy with it. So, I mean, in August. We're in September, sorry. Picked it up in August, and I am really happy with it. It's a great knife. Everything but the pocket clip. The pocket clip would probably be my biggest complaint. It's very bendy, and it's just not a very attractive design to me. But number one for August top carry, what was your favorite knife in the month of August? Or what are you carrying here today as you're watching this video? What are you fidgeting with today that you're really enjoying? What is something that might be coming up that you're really excited to get, or maybe that you pre-ordered and you're waiting for it to come in? I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, do me a favor, leave a like. Helps me with the YouTube algorithm, and consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. I'd love to have you follow along as I continue to grow the channel. All the links for everything that is available is down in the description. Some of my favorite retailers if you're on the hunt for a knife that's not regularly in stock, like the Snyx Vision R or the Umanzan. Those are really hard to get a hold of, even the Shaman. I do try to post when I see they come in, so make sure you pay attention for that. Another great reason to be subscribed with that notification bell turned on, because those alerts will pop up to try to help you for the hunt for that. I also have tools and other things down in those links to help you. Those links that take you to Amazon, they help a little bit. It's not a big kickback, and there's no extra charge to you. It should be the same cost. And then anything for White Mountain knives that you use my discount on, I don't get any kickback for that, but I wanted to try to start getting some discount codes for anyone that might be watching to help save some money, because let's be honest, it's an expensive hobby and every little bit helps. Thanks for tuning in. I hope all of you have a fantastic week. Until next time, peace.